In this video, I want to look at using RStudio to evaluate normal distribution probabilities. So let's start with the standard normal distribution. Our command is pnorm, and we need three values for it: the value for x, the value for the mean, and the value for the standard deviation. And as a reminder, for the standard normal distribution, the mean is 0 and the standard deviation is 1. Let's suppose we want to find the probability that x is less than 1.57. In this case, we would have pnorm 1.57, 0, 1, since our mean is 0 and standard deviation is 1. Running this, we can see the probability is 0.9417924 that x is below 1.57. Next, let's suppose we want to find the probability that x is between negative 0.23 and 0.48. In this case, we would always do the big minus the little, so we have pnorm of 0.48, 0, 1, minus pnorm of negative 0.23, 0, 1. And we can see that probability is given by 0.2753404. Next, let's look at the probability that x is greater than 1.35. Pnorm always gives the probability that you are less than your x value. So in order to do greater than, we need to do 1 minus. So I have 1 minus pnorm of 1.35, 0, 1. And we see that probability is 0.088507999. So this is how we would find these probabilities. Next, let's get away from the standard normal distribution into the general normal distribution. Let's suppose that we have a mean of 1.25 and a standard deviation of 0.46, and I want to know the probability that 1 is less than x is less than 1.75. In this case, since it's a between, we need to subtract, so we have pnorm of 1.75, 1.25, the mean, 0.46, the standard deviation, minus pnorm of 1, 1.25, 0.46. So here we get a probability of 0.5680717. Finally, let's find the probability that x is greater than 2. Since we have a greater than, we need to use 1 minus, so we have 1 minus pnorm of 2, 1.25, 0.46. And that gives us a probability of 0.05150482. The next thing I want to look at is how to use RStudio to find percentiles in a normal distribution. In this case, we use the command qnorm. S is the percentile that we want, our mean, and our standard deviation. So S should be between 0 and 1. Let's suppose I want to find my 95th percentile in my standard normal distribution. We would use the command qnorm 0.95 since I want the 95th percentile, my mean is 0, my standard deviation is 1. And we can see that's given by the value 1.644854. Let's suppose we want to find the 95th percentile, but this time we have a mean of 1.25 and a standard deviation of 0.46. In this case, we still use qnorm 0.95 since we want the 95th percentile. The mean is 1.25, standard deviation is 0.46. So in this case, the 95th percentile is given by the data value 2.006633. Let's suppose I have a mean of 43, a standard deviation of 4.5, and I want to know what value separates the top 10%. In this case, we would use qnorm of 0.9. The top 10% means that 90% is below, and percentiles always give you the percentage at or below. So we're going to use 0.9 for the percentage below the 10%, a mean of 43, and a standard deviation of 4.5. And we would get this value of 48.76698.